Alright, sorry about my Screencast-O-Matic Premium. They decided to update it, which is technically a downgrade. Smartphone being a dumb phone. Yeah, they're trying to shill another system update on my Android. I keep denying it. But as soon as I fall asleep and I forget to put it on airplane mode one night, I'm gonna wake up and they're gonna slide it in. Right? They gotta update their fucking tracking device that I pay for. So anyways, I'm going to run some rants here and try to keep it short and sweet. Just checking in with everybody. Alright, stand by. Alright, well there goes the damn thing again. So you can't even edit a simple video from your phone anymore. Babylon goes far and wide to fucking do the opposite of anything that's good and holy and righteous. But at least we know. And once you know the knowledge, what do you intend to do about it? What do you intend to do with it? Right? So, either way, look, Florida is the limp dick of the United States, the USA. And it hasn't always been that way. It started off as a place where all the OGs would go and hide out. And the place is relatively new, but it was designed and bought up by a Jew around the 1902 Phoenix, and probably shortly after, and always set up to be a plantation for Goyim debt slaves to come and die, right, and visit, right, and they make sure they, like any other tourist trap, this one was built for humans by a fucking pedophile mouse. So they got to keep the grift going, and they bring in all these families of dummies that have been behind a fucking keyboard in a cubicle that most of their life. So they see some fancy toxic chemical sponsored by DuPont and Roundup, fucking St. Augustine grass, and all the fancy shit around Disney where they dump all their money in. Everybody else lives in fucking squalor. It's no different than a glorified cum dumpster favela in Brazil, And those that grew up in Florida, the natives and cunts like me that got sucked in there by my parents or my mom to, be closer to her parents for whatever reason. And I'm glad because I love my grandma, but I was visiting her from California, flying across the country by myself since I was 4 years old with my dog Corky. And I did that up until we moved there in middle school. And it's just been hell. That's where my first serious ritual was the Challenger PSYOP, and I remember standing on the lawn of the school and all the hobbits were looking up in amazement. And I don't feel bad about all those Krista McAuliffe jokes now, because the bitch never fucking died to begin with. So, fuck that shit. Either way though, Florida's a giant penis, or like a filter almost, for all the douchebags riding the fucking Babylonian douche canoe to their eternal grave. And there's no gardens anymore. They're mowing down every fucking ecosystem that is available. No different than Texas. And they're just putting parking lots and more cubes for the cube-tards to come and slave away and be hooked into the kill grid. So stay away from this fucking place. Yeah, take it from me. So we don't have chemtrails down here. It's very nice. They do come in from the south a lot, from South America, Australia, coming up the west coast of the continental Americas, and then when they cross over El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, because it's a short skip, it's an hour at the most to get across the whole thing, maybe 45 minutes to get into the Caribbean. And make their way up to, like I said, the limp dick of the United States, and all the hobbits just love to go visit pedophile headquarters. So either way, they turn off their nozzles right when they get off international waters, and you can see it here. But this one stood out because it wasn't spraying as it approached. It was a short burst, and it's totally connected to, based on my years and years of being here research, these two towers in the middle of your screen seem to draw it in, which ties into my theory that some of these, if not all of them, at least the operating system that controls the sprays, so the pilot can claim plausible deniability and feel like it's black magic, so they're revealing it to you, but they're not, and they're just gonna put the karma on the shelf for the time and take that fucking hefty pension, right? Keep your mouth shut. Not all of them. There's some good soldiers out there. But what I noticed was not only that, but there's a star that's visible here that they were trying to hide because the chemtrail showed up about 10 minutes before, and it was a thick, whatever it was, this shit wasn't moving. It was unusually windy here today at sunset, and I saw this pop up while I was sun gazing, grounding, and meditation with my yoga stretching ritual and protocols here that I do almost every day, morning and then at sunset. And I said, that's interesting. No stars are out yet, and it's coming from the north, west-northwest, which is also where Nemesis X will probably be visible from in the next 18 years or so. I haven't survived one in this lifetime, so I can't remember. I can't tell you, where you'll be able to see it best from. But we face basically 180 degrees south here. So our sunset is you would feel like it would be looking north, but that's technically west. So this thing is visible, right there at west-northwest. And this chemtrail is following a northwest trajectory. It's not landing here because this is not the flight route to the international airport. It's further south, or let's say, God, it's so weird because we face south, so it'd be more east, right? And either way, I was wondering, are they trying to hide this? And I'll show you why I say that, because I got some time lapse here, and I'll bring you into about 20 minutes later, and that thing is no longer visible. And I stood around till dark to wait to see. And every other star in the sky came out, but that one planet or whatever the hell it was that I just showed you. So let's take a look at one more. So yeah, here you go. You can see how long it lingered. It's almost dark now, and that might. No, I've already checked this image because I was doing my naked eye, and then I couldn't find it. And again, all the stars are visible looking up, and this is more of a horizontal trajectory here. And whatever this chemtrail had in it was very, very thick, and it just goes right over those towers as usual, and not another streak in the sky. Although this one is kind of suspect here. They were setting up to block whatever I was looking at, and that's my opinion. So yeah, the tyranny's real, but I'll take one random chemtrail over non-stop 24/7 spray around the rest of the earth, it seems like, especially in the United States of Goyim debt slaves.